So Neil, let me ask you, what are some of the main barriers that attorneys have to getting more involved in business development and actually getting results from it? What are the barriers that kind of hold them back?
Most of them are psychological, actually, right? And the biggest culprit is law school. Law school I think, is the #1 impediment to lawyers being good at business development. And what I mean by that is you will sometimes hear people say, well, you don't learn anything about business or how to run a business or business development in law school, which is true. But it's actually worse than that. Law school is like anti-business development training, right? Because law school, in a subtle but powerful way, teaches us that we should think of ourselves as kind of a special caste, learned professionals, right? We want to think of ourselves like doctors, right? So we're not like common business people. We don't do things like sales and marketing and grubby things like that. We're
dirt under the fingernails type of stuff.
Right. We're special, right? And that kind of mindset carries through into your first few years working in a law firm, and so there's a fear, a mystery, in some quarters almost like a disdain for business development amongst lawyers.
Well, we all know that word sales is a dirty word,
right?
So we say things like business development and marketing and things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, that's the biggest obstacle, and the lawyers who just never get out of the gate. In terms of progressing their career and developing a book of business, it's often because they were kind of taught the opposite in law school and for whatever reason just never broke out of that mold.
And then flip it further, what are the consequences as you see it to attorneys that don't buy into their own clients and having a book of business? And again, we know that it's not for everybody. However, the legal world is spinning around a little bit. So what do you see as the kind of the consequences of not having the right mindset?
When I was a very junior associate at our firm, a mentor of mine at the time, who was a senior associate at the time, about to go up for partner, he told me, building your own book of business is the only way you will ever have control over your career in the private practice of law, right? If you get to the point where you're 10, 15 years out of school, now you've presumably developed yourself into a good lawyer, right? You can handle your own cases or handle your own deals. You can handle clients well. You're somebody that can be trusted with work. But you're dependent on somebody else to fill your plate with however many billable hours a year of work that your firm expects from you, then you're always chained to somebody else's destiny, right? You can't write your own ticket. You don't have the leverage to go to another firm if you don't like your firm or things are not going well. So you just don't have the control.
So with that knowledge or that potential outcome, why are attorneys still so hesitant to look at business development as a possibility for their future?
I think, and this goes back somewhat to the anti-business development training you get in law school, there's so much mystery that surrounds business development. Lawyers in particular, young lawyers, often look at the successful rainmakers in their firm as if there's some magic attached to them, right? People think, he must have been, he's a natural, right? Or she was born to do it this way, or parents must have known somebody, right? Had built-in connections, that kind of thing. And some people do have those advantages, and they help, but in no way are they necessary, right? So if you drain all the mystery out of business development, it really comes down to a set of skills and habits. And it's a set of skills and habits that any reasonably intelligent and ambitious professional can master if they want to and take the time to do it. But that mystique that surrounds it is what holds so many people back.
That's very interesting.